Welcome to a deep dive
Okay.
into the life and music of Robert Clark Seger,
Wow.
the heartland rocker you know as Bob Seger.
Okay.
We've got a mix of biographical details and fan stories, and our mission is to uncover
Okay.
why his music has resonated across generations.
Sounds good.
So
Yeah. What fascinates me about Seeger is how his career almost didn't happen. There were twists and turns, near misses, and even a connection to Motown that could have changed everything.
It's a classic tale of perseverance, right?
Yeah.
But let's rewind to the beginning.
Okay.
Bob Seger was born in Detroit in 1945,
Okay.
and his dad,
Yeah.
musician himself,
Right.
left when Bob was only 10.
Oh, wow.
That had to be tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The family moved to a one-room apartment.
Oh, wow.
And it really put a strain on everyone,
Yeah.
especially his older brother who had to step up. It's no surprise that Seeger turns to music for solace.
Imagine him as a kid, staying up late,
Yeah.
listening to a faraway radio station,
Oh, yeah.
absorbing the sounds of James Brown,
Wow.
Little Richard,
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett,
Yeah.
all those soul and R&B legends.
It's an unexpected mix of influences.
Yeah.
For someone who had become a heartland rock icon.
Yeah.
And what's even more surprising is that Seeger actually preferred James Brown
Wow.
over the Beatles in his youth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That makes you wonder how those early influences shaped his sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got this musical melting pot in his head.
Uh-huh.
How does he go from late-night radio sessions
Right.
to rocking the Detroit scene?
Well, he was a good student and athlete,
Okay.
but rock and roll changed everything. He started playing in bars while still in high school,
Wow.
3 nights a week.
Talk about a light bulb moment.
Yeah.
And by 1968, he's outselling the Beatles in Detroit.
Yeah, he was huge.
5 top 10 singles,
Wow.
all before breaking through nationally.
It's amazing.
That's wild.
He was a local phenomenon.
Yeah.
But national success was almost within reach in 1967. His single was gaining traction, and then boom, the record company promoting it went bankrupt.
What a blow. It's like climbing Mount Everest and getting struck by lightning just before the summit.
Exactly. A major setback.
Yeah.
And then things get really interesting.
Okay.
Motown, right there in his own backyard,
Yeah.
offers him a contract.
Whoa. Can you picture Bob Seger with that Motown sound?
It's a tantalizing what if,
Yeah.
but he ultimately signed with Capitol Records,
Yeah.
feeling it was a better fit for his music.
He always seemed to have this strong sense of self,
Yeah.
musically speaking.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's his legendary work ethic.
Right.
260 shows in 1975 alone.
He was relentless.
Wow.
That drive was fueled by a belief that his career might be short-lived.
Oh, really?
Early on, he got some advice from Freddie, Boom Boom Cannon,
Right.
who told him rock and roll careers only last a few years.
Oh.
It really stuck with him.
So he's touring like crazy, building a fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But national recognition is still elusive.
Well,
His first national hit, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man,
yeah.
peaked at number 17 in 1969.
Okay.
Then, radio silence on the national charts for years.
He had regional hits during that time, songs like Beautiful Loser and Looking Back, which kept him going.
Right.
And then, in 1977, Night Moves explodes onto the scene.
Yeah.
And finally, he has that national breakthrough.
It's a testament to his perseverance and belief in his music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And during that time, he honed his songwriting, developing a style that really set him apart.
This is where those vivid characters come in, right?
Exactly.
Lucy Blue, Chicago Green, already Eddie.
Yeah.
They leap off the page, or in this case, out of the speakers.
Right out of the speaker.
It reminds you of Springsteen, but Seger was doing it earlier.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was doing it first. Yeah.
It's like he's creating a whole cast of characters that inhabit this world of heartland rock.
Yeah.
What sets Seger's characters apart, though,
Yeah.
is this recurring theme of searching for something,
Yeah.
but not quite finding it.
You're right.
Yeah.
There's this undercurrent of longing, of dreams that don't quite pan out the way they hoped.
Right.
Think of Night Moves.
Yeah.
That yearning for a connection that ultimately slips away.
Yeah.
Or Turn the Page. The loneliness of life on the road.
And there's this sense of morality
Oh, yeah.
woven into his songwriting.
For sure.
He's exploring the consequences of choices,
Yeah.
the weight of right and wrong.
He's not shying away from the complexities of life.
Right.
His characters are flawed.
Yeah.
They make mistakes. And they have to live with the consequences. That's what makes them so relatable.
Yeah.
They're not just rock and roll heroes.
Yeah.
They're human beings trying to navigate the world.
And all of this is delivered with this incredible attention to detail.
Oh, yeah.
He's a notorious perfectionist in the studio, spending months fine-tuning his music.
He doesn't just write a song and record it.
Right.
He crafts it,
Yeah.
sculpts it, until it's exactly what he wants it to be.
Right.
And that's reflected in the depth and richness of his recordings.
And it's not just rock and roll that influences him.
Right.
He's a fan of artists like Leonard Cohen,
Yeah.
Tom Waits, Joni Mitchell.
He's drawn to songwriters who dig deep,
Yeah.
who explore the human condition in all its messy glory.
Right.
You can hear echoes of Cohen's lyrical depth
Yeah.
in Seeger's ballads, and Waits' gritty storytelling seems to have seeped into Seeger's portrayal of characters on the fringes.
It's fascinating to see how those diverse influences blend together
It is.
to create his unique sound.
It speaks to his curiosity as a musician.
Yeah.
His willingness to learn from different genres and push his own creative boundaries.
Okay, so we've talked about his Detroit roots, his near miss at national fame, his songwriting style,
Yeah.
his influences.
Right there. Now let's shift gears and hear from the fans themselves.
All right.
We've got some stories that really capture
Yeah.
how Seeger's music has woven itself into people's lives.
The fan comments reveal a fascinating pattern.
Okay.
They highlight the nostalgia, the raw energy of his live shows,
Yeah.
and this incredible cross-generational appeal.
Valerie, for example, talks about Seeger's music being the soundtrack to her family road trips.
She'd listened to Against the Wind and the Fire Inside on repeat
Right.
during those long drives to Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's clear those songs are now intertwined with her childhood memories.
Then there's Jenny,
Yeah.
who vividly remembers seeing Seeger live in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
She describes his performance as transformative.
Wow.
The Florida sun beating down, his long hair flowing in the wind.
You can practically feel the heat and hear the music just from her words.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about the power of live music to create these lasting, visceral memories. And Carol talks about 3 generations in her family enjoying Seeger's music.
Wow.
Her son, who attended his concerts in the 90s,
Yeah.
and now her grandson, who's discovering Seeger's music for the first time.
It's remarkable how his music transcends generations,
Yeah.
resonating with people of different ages and backgrounds.
Not everyone has been lucky enough to see him live, though.
Right.
Danica expresses regret for missing that opportunity,
Yeah.
despite attending countless other concerts.
It's a poignant reminder that we shouldn't take those chances for granted.
Yeah.
The music we love, the artists who move us,
Right.
they won't be around forever.
And then there's John Willett,
Yeah.
who's holding out hope for one more Seeger tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sentiment echoes with a lot of fans. There's a real hunger to experience that energy and connection one more time.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Seeger's Detroit roots, his brush with Motown,
Yeah.
his songwriting style, and what his music means to fans.
It's incredible.
But one question keeps circling back.
Okay.
How did Seeger,
Yeah.
with those early influences rooted in soul and R&B,
Right.
become such a defining voice in heartland rock?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's almost like he embodies this musical intersection, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, you've got the gritty, working-class narratives of heartland rock. On the other hand,
Yeah.
there's this soulful undercurrent,
Right.
this raw emotionality
Yeah.
that echoes those R&B legends he grew up listening to.
Perhaps it's that blend that makes him so unique.
Yeah.
He's able to tap into these universal themes of longing, resilience, the search for connection in a way that transcends genre boundaries.
And his vocals play a huge part in that.
Oh, for sure.
There's a rawness,
Yeah.
an honesty in his voice
Yeah.
that cuts through any musical categorization.
You can hear the weight of his experiences, the joy, the heartbreak, the struggles of his characters, all poured into every note.
So for you, the listener,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway from this deep dive into Bob Seger's world?
I think it's a reminder that music can be a powerful force,
Yeah.
connecting us across generations, cultures, even genres.
Yeah.
And within Seeger's music, you'll find stories of resilience, of searching for something more,
Right.
of navigating the complexities of life.
As you listen to his songs,
Yeah.
from the anthems to the ballads,
Uh-huh.
ask yourself, What elements stand out to you
Mm-hmm.
as bridging that gap between soul and rock?
Yeah.
What makes his music resonate so deeply
Right.
with such a diverse audience?
It's a question worth pondering as you explore the rich tapestry of his work.
And on that note, we'll leave you to continue the journey.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the life and music of Bob Seger.
Here I am, on